Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Change of Responsibility ceremony and the Change of Command for 2nd Brigade Support Battalion. We would also like to welcome those of you who are joining us virtually and thank you for your participation. Today, Sergeant Major Michael Moana will turn over responsibility of the battalion to Command Sergeant Major Taiwan A. Jackson, and Lieutenant Colonel Brent R. Irish will relinquish command of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion to the incoming commander, Lieutenant Colonel Kristen M. Plasmeyer. The soldiers you see before you represent 2nd Brigade Support Battalion. Participating in today's ceremony from left to right are Headquarters and Headquarter Company Hellraisers, commanded by Captain Stanford and led by 1st Sergeant Centeno. To their right is Alpha Company Aces, commanded by Captain Butler and led by 1st Sergeant Marrero. Next is Bravo Company Black Knights, commanded by Captain Madison and led by 1st Sergeant Arjon. Next on line is Charlie Company Guardians, commanded by Captain Akery and led by 1st Sergeant Phillips. At the center of the formation is the Color Guard from 2nd Brigade Support Battalion. We'd like to extend a special welcome to our distinguished guests, Major General Smith, Command Sergeant Major Lawless, Colonel Royman, Command Sergeant Major Sismazik, fellow command teams, family members, and friends of the Mustang Battalion. The official party for today's change of responsibility is the outgoing Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major Michael Moana, and incoming Command Sergeant Major Taiwan Jackson. The commander of troops for today's change of responsibility ceremony is Sergeant First Class Gary Jackson. The official party members for today's change of command ceremony are Lieutenant Colonel Brent R. Irish, the outgoing commander of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion, and Lieutenant Colonel Kristen M. Plasmeyer, the incoming commander of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion. The commander of troops for the change of command ceremony is Command Sergeant Major Taiwan Jackson. You can find their biographies in your program. They are accompanied by the host of today's ceremony, Colonel Chad M. Rohrman, commander of 2-2 Stryker Brigade Combat Team. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
I invite you to pray with me. He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will abide in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say to the Lord, my God and my refuge and my fortress, my God in whom I trust. For it is he who delivers you from the snare of the pestilence and from the deadly pestilence. He will cover you with his pinions, and under his wings you may seek refuge. His faithfulness is a shield and bulwark. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. How blessed is a man who takes refuge in him. Dear Father in heaven, thank you for all who are here today to witness this change of command and change of responsibility ceremony of the 2nd BSB. We are grateful today for your goodness. And more specifically, Lord, I want to thank you because we have been fortunate here at the 2nd BSB, both to have been under the skillful direction and leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Irish and to be under the care and dedication of Sergeant Major Moana. And Father, we ask you to be with both the Irish and Moana families, that you give Lieutenant Colonel Irish and his wife Emily, along with their children Olivia, Vance, Simon, and Noah, your protection as they prepare for a new chapter. I pray that you will also be with Sergeant Major Moana and his wife Safusi and their daughter Casey, who's here today, and also with their sons Knox and Michael. We ask that you give both these families good health and strength in the road ahead. And Father, we also ask you on behalf of both Lieutenant Colonel Plasmeyer, as she assumes command, and Sergeant Major Jackson, as he assumes responsibility of the 2nd VSB. Lord, give them both a heart of wisdom and grace, and uphold them with your love and goodwill. We ask all these things in the good and the powerful name of Christ our Lord. Amen.
Please be seated. Please direct your attention to the VIP seating area where Private First Class Madison is presenting a bouquet of red roses in full bloom to Mrs. Sifusi Moana and her daughter Casey, as well as Mrs. Emily Irish and her daughter Olivia. Private First Class Madison is also presenting a coin to Mrs. Irish's three sons, Vance, Simon, and Noah. The roses symbolize the color of the heart, the care, and the concern the Moana and Irish family has shown to the soldiers and the family of the battalion. Specialist Henry is presenting a bouquet of yellow roses to Sergeant Major Taiwan A. Jackson's grandmother, Miss Delina Goodwine, and a coin to Lieutenant Colonel Plasmeyer's father, Mr. David Scopelite. The yellow color is a sign of the welcome, and budding flowers are in anticipation of good things to come. For a detailed history of 2nd BSB's history, please refer to your program. On 22 September 1917, 2nd BSB was constituted as the Motor Supply Train Force 2nd Division and organized in Fort Sam, Houston, Texas. In 1918, the unit deployed to World War I as an organic element of 2nd Division and participated in 6 campaigns, including Moose, Argonne, and Lorraine. On 21 October 1942, the 2nd Supply Train was redesignated as the 2nd Quartermaster Company. In October 1943, the 2nd Quartermaster Company sailed from Northern Ireland, where training continued in preparation for an invasion of Europe during World War II. Supporting the 2nd Infantry Division, 2nd Quartermaster Company crossed the English Channel and landed in Normandy on 10 June 1944. The company received Meritorious Unit Commendation and was cited twice in the Order of the Day by the Belgian Army. After occupation duty in Germany, 2nd Quartermaster Company was reassigned to Korea in 1950. The company was awarded a Presidential Unit Citation, a Meritorious Unit Commendation, and 2 Republic of Korea Presidential Unit Citations. On 16 October 1989, the 2nd Supply and Transportation Battalion was reorganized as Heavy Support Battalion. Of note, this is the first point in the unit's lineage that resembles a multifunctional support battalion, specifically where the formation gained a maintenance and medical company. In October 2006, 2nd Support Battalion Forward deployed from Korea to participate in Operation Iraqi Freedom during the surge period. The Mustang Battalion served with distinction and earned a Meritorious Unit Commendation. In 22 July 2010, 2nd Brigade Support Battalion was assigned to 2nd Stryker Brigade Combat Team, 2nd Infantry Division, Fort Lewis, Washington. In 2013, 2nd BSB deployed to Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom, where it earned its 4th Meritorious Unit Commendation. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're about to observe a change of responsibility ceremony for 2nd Brigade Support Battalion. The change of responsibility ceremony is a traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Key to the ceremony is the passing of the battalion colors between the outgoing and incoming Sergeant Major. The Command Sergeant Major is the custodian of the colors and the senior enlisted person in the battalion. He serves as the senior enlisted advisor to the commander on all facets of the unit's operation and is overall responsible for the good order and discipline of the battalion. From the earliest times, leaders used the banner or other symbols to identify themselves and use them in rallying points for their warriors. Historically, the flag or colors of the unit served as a point around for which soldiers of an organization rallied as they moved forward into battle. The colors have traditionally been at the side of the commander and was carried forward even when the commander fell in combat. All others may perish, but the colors live on. With the transfer of colors here today goes the transfer of responsibility of the battalion and the welfare of the soldiers. The colors are passed from the commander of troops to the outgoing sergeant major. With the transfer of the colors goes the transfer of responsibility for the accomplishment of the mission and the welfare of the soldiers. The passing of the colors from the outgoing sergeant major to the battalion commander signifies that the unit is never without officer leadership. The passing of the colors from the battalion commander to the incoming sergeant major signifies the passing of his trust and the responsibility for the unit and its soldiers. The passing of the colors from the incoming sergeant major to the commander of troops signifies the confidence is placed with the non-commissioned officer corps. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2nd Brigade Support Battalion Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Brent Irish.
Major General Smith, Command Sergeant Major Lawless, Colonel Rorman, Command Sergeant Major Samazik, distinguished visitors, friends and family of the Lancer Brigade and 2nd Brigade Support Battalion. Thank you for your attendance today as we say thank you and farewell to Sergeant Major Moana and welcome Command Sergeant Major Jackson to the Mustang team. I'd like to first start by saying it's been a while since we've done a large formation like this, and it is nice to see everybody's faces. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all of the hard work you've done. Let's give these soldiers a round of applause. Sergeant Major Moana, the impact that you and your family have had on this battalion over the last 6 months has been nothing short of amazing. Somewhat of a fish out of water as an infantry sergeant major in the sustainment world. You've brought a worldview that we see with less frequency. We've seen a dramatic increase in unit readiness from being 3rd in the division for human resource metrics to our increased operational readiness rates and outstanding results moving to and from YTC in our last field problem. While all of these are extremely important to getting out the door and into the fight, I believe the most critical role that you have is much more simple in concept, yet very hard to execute, and that is simply being present with the soldiers. And you did exactly this. There's no better way to accomplish all of those tasks than being with the soldiers and serving as an example. Spending time, being in their presence, you can teach them, both the officers and COs, what right looks like. During our last battalion field problem, when we set up a BSA, I rarely saw you in the talk. You were out demonstrating to the leaders how to lead, and you were helping the soldiers be better soldiers. You taught them how to improve fighting positions and employ weapon systems properly. It's been an absolute joy serving with you, and thank you, Safusi, for all you've done. I know that he spends a lot of time with us, and we appreciate it. Thank you for the help that you've provided to the battalion as well, and I wish you both good luck in the future. Command Sergeant Major Jackson, as a Sergeant Major for the BSB, you have the responsibility of ensuring technical and tactical readiness for the 4 base companies, as well as ensuring the technical expertise of the enlisted manning for 6 forward support companies. As you know, a one-size-fits-all approach to solve readiness and training challenges does not exist with this organization. There are ways there will always be material and personnel constraints, but I have the utmost faith that you will find a way to overcome all of these obstacles and lead the soldiers in this battalion. You come with a great reputation, and the soldiers and leaders are ready to have you on board as an advisor, a sounding board, and a mentor. There will always be challenges and friction, and there will be flaw. But we know that you'll drive the BSB to be successful in every future mission. General Colin Powell said, "Leadership is solving problems. The day soldiers stop bringing you their problem is the day you've stopped leading them." I leave you with the same guidance I gave Sergeant Major Moana, and that is simply be with the soldiers and lead them. There's no better teaching tool than a positive example. Be with them when the conditions are uncomfortable and lead when they are risky. I have no doubt you'll do well. Trust in me, seize the high ground, sustain the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Command Sergeant Major of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion, Command Sergeant Major Michael Moana.
Good morning and talofa. Welcome to today, Change Responsibility. First of all, I would like to give thanks to God, glory, for the praise of everything. Thank you for the strength you give me each day for all the people around me and make life meaningful. General Smith, Command Sergeant Major Lawless, Colonel Atkins, Colonel Wiskowski, fellow command teams, distinguished guests, families and friends, thank you for taking your time on a busy schedule to attend today's Change Responsibility. I wrote a 10-page speech to thank everyone to contribute either in a large or a small way at this point, so bear with me. However, while I would love to spend the next hour or two going down the list, unfortunately time precludes that. Today is a bittersweet day. I am sad, but also glad. It is quite challenging to describe my feelings about leaving the Mustang soldiers after a short time, because I am grateful for your loyalty, support since I became your Command Sergeant Major. So although I would say my farewell to the Mustang today, I know with confidence those qualities you possess abundance are to say. Colonel Roman, Command Sergeant Major Zmazik, thank you for giving me this opportunity to serve the great organization. It was a remarkable ride, and it is thanks to the lessons, the mentorship, and the examples you have both led. And I am grateful, and I shall have new duties and responsibility in the future. Thank you. Lieutenant Colonel Irish, thank you for maintaining the positive climate, always having a positive feedback when taking care of soldiers. Working alongside you has constantly made me feel like I can handle and conquer anything, mainly when accomplishing the mission. No doubt we have done the best possible that existing circumstances, and in a short time that work alongside each other. I am sure we have satisfied our honor of the Mustang family, mainly the more significant achievements of our great Army. Thank you for your unwavering support, sir. Mentorship, the leadership. I mostly enjoy the wartime story and the experience. I am honored and blessed to serve alongside you. I can never thank you enough for all that you have done for my family and myself. The Mustang soldiers, the families, and the Army, sir. You have served and led for so many years and time you spent away from your family. Thank you, sir. I want to wish you and Emily, the kids, the best, and may the next chapter in life be rewarding for you and your family. God bless and always bless, sir. Thank you to the battalion command teams for your endless support. I appreciate the help, the assistance you have all given to the Mustang Battalion. Thank you to the company commanders and first sergeants for taking a lot from me and Lieutenant Colonel Irish. I appreciate the long hours spent in the day out ensuring the soldiers are well taken care of. Well, I guess it's safe to say that I can rest now for the non-stopping text and during the midnight. Also, I will send the CCIR past the midnight, and we have our phones over there past midnight. I'm still waiting which company is going to send the CCIR. I thank you all for your endless support, commitment, the goodwill which you have all performed those duties. However, our achievements would have been far less if it wasn't for all of you. This is the far by best group of company commanders and first sergeant I ever worked with. Therefore, I say you to be proud of what you have achieved. To all my S-shops, I appreciate everything you do for the Mustang Battalion and keeping me on track, ensuring that I do not miss my endless brigade meetings and getting the backfields to cover for all the FSCs. The little things that make the job much easier and more rewarding each day. Your support is much appreciated. To my XOs, Major Phil and Major Roberts, thank you for the outstanding and always having the patience to manage the overall operation and resource in the battalion. You're always making things happen to better our battalion. Thank you too for your loyalty, dedication, and duty, and the mission to our country. Chaplain E, thank you so much, sir. Taking care of always being available for the soldiers and their family. Your experience, tireless effort, cares for the Mustang soldier will go long. I will never forget, as Zach Williams says, how perfect are your ways, how endless is your grace. Forever I will sing your praise. Man of God, I thank you, sir, and God bless you and your family. Command Sergeant Major Jackson, you are indeed the right leader for the right time for the Mustang. Your leadership skills, knowledge, and experience will ensure the Mustang continues to excel as an organization. I wish you and your family the best. To my wives, Fusi, daughter Casey, and my two sons, MJ and Knox, thank you guys for allowing me to do what I love. Casey, you and Knox have always been a treatment hectic workday. Nothing beats coming home and you being loud daddy, and then greeting with the hug, and Knox running around in circles, screaming like I don't have a long day at work. But I look forward to those end of the days. Behind a successful, a strong, supportive woman, the one that held it all together, to maximize the time potential, the only focus on work, those unfiltered, tell it like it is, and own what you bring to the table. Advice, distinction, perspectives always come to the right time, even if I don't like to hear it. Thank you for always keeping me on my toes, and I love you, hon. I want to thank the band for the outstanding performance today. Moreover, the soldier of the Mustang standing in formation. You are greatly appreciated for what you do. They say that time and tide wait for no man, but I'm flooded with wave accomplishment, humility, serve here at the BSB. As I mentioned before, no words nor speech can express it. I have challenged you, and you have risen to the challenge. I will never forget the Mustang soldiers because you all have demonstrated and proved the endeavor, the willingness to put yourself in position far beyond your duties. You have done what I have asked for and given far more. I shall never forget your devotion to duty, and with that, I know our great country is very safe and indeed the future leaders. Remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, may you always continue to serve and guard our great country with professionalism, loyalty, and faithful hearts. May God bless you all and your families. Faf taite lava, trust in me, seize the high ground, sustain the fight. Mustang 7 signing out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incoming Command Sergeant Major of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion, Command Sergeant Major Taiwan Jackson.
That was a long walk. Good morning, General Smith, Command Sergeant Major Lawson, Colonel Kidd, Command Sergeant Major Scarborough, Colonel Roman, Command Sergeant Major Sizmazik, distinguished guests, commanders, fellow Command Sergeant Majors, Sergeants Majors, family, friends, and the soldiers of the 2nd Brigade Support Battalion, welcome. First and foremost, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for ordering my steps and guiding me these last 23 years. I'd like to thank the Brigade Command Team for allowing me this opportunity to serve as the next Command Sergeant Major in 2 BSB. It's an honor and a privilege. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge a special lady who endured a 7-hour flight, 3,350 miles, crossing and entering 3 time zones, and experiencing 35 to 40 degree temperature drop from Miami. Yes, I see you smiling, Grandma. That's for you. Thank you for making this day special for me. I love you. Sergeant Major Moana, thank you for your time with me. Your leadership and dedication to the unit for the past several months will not be forgotten. You are a true professional, and I wish you and your family well wishes on your next position. Godspeed. It is important to maintain continuity, but it's just as important to welcome change. So I look forward to serving alongside the soldiers of the Mustang Battalion in improving the readiness posture of this organization. Please join me in another round of applause for these fine soldiers. Lastly, allow me to reintroduce these words as a non-commissioned officer. The first set, no one is more professional than I. The second is like unto it. All soldiers are entitled to outstanding leadership. I will provide that leadership. Trust in me, seize the high ground, sustain the fight. Mustang 7, signing on the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party for the change of command ceremony. Please be seated. The change of command ceremony is a simple, traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The key to the change of command is the passing of the unit colors. These colors represent not only the heritage and the history of the unit, but also the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing their responsibility to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there are also the colors. The custodian of the colors is the command sergeant major. As a senior enlisted soldier in the Brigade Support Battalion, the command sergeant major is both the spokesperson for loyalty and the concerns of the soldiers and a principal advisor to the commander. The passing of the colors symbolizes the transfer of authority from the outgoing commander to the incoming commander. The passing of the colors demonstrates to the soldiers of the unit the old commander has passed the mantle of leadership to the new commander, and with this must also pass the loyalty of the soldiers to their new commander. By authority of Army Regulation 600-20, paragraph 2-5, the undersigned assumes command of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion, effective 12 April 2022, signed Kristen M. Plasmeyer, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Army Logistics Commanding. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of 2-2 Striker Brigade Combat Team, Colonel Chad Rorman.
So for those of you standing in formation, since it's been a while that we've done this, go ahead and rest, shake it out for the color bearers and rifle team there. Go ahead, you can take them down, relax. So relax, shake it out for the formation. Yeah, there you go. Okay, good, good. I know we haven't done it in a while, so give you a little bit of a break there to shake it out. since we're doing 2 ceremonies in one here today. So Major General Mrs. Smith, Command Sergeant Major and Dr. Lawless, Colonel Atkins, Colonel Wazinski, fellow commanders, Command Sergeants Major, friends and family of the Lancer Brigade and the Mustang Battalion, thank you all very much for attending the ceremonies here today. And I think it's a testament, seeing the number of people that are in here, a testament to the leadership of the Mustang Battalion as we're making this transition. So Sergeant Major Moana, great work in getting the Mustang Battalion ready today. Doing outdoors, indoors. We're not sure what's the weather call going to be. And then in looking at the weather this morning, again, after making the call yesterday, it's like, okay, the sunshine, it's about, sun's coming out. But then as we got over here, I know the rain, the snow, and everything made the good call to get us here inside. So to you, to the leaders, to the soldiers of the battalion, thank you all for your dedication in putting this together in the manner in which you did. And it's just a testament to not only professionalism and excellence here, but in how you've sustained every mission, for the brigade. So for the soldiers here, you look great. For the band, thank you very much for your participation here today and adding that extra little touch today. So ladies and gentlemen, again, please join me in a round of applause for everyone that's standing here in front of us. So today is definitely a significant point of transition for the Mustang Battalion. Not only did we change responsibility between 2 phenomenal Sergeants Major, Sergeant Major Moana to Command Sergeant Major Jackson, but also 2 superb officers with Lieutenant Colonel Irish and Lieutenant Colonel Plasmeyer. So let me start with the Sergeants Major. So Sergeant Major Moana, I did have to remind myself occasionally that you are an 11 Series Sergeant Major, not a logistician. But the manner in which you jumped into the position to improve the organization and how you worked to execute your commander's intent in this battalion was very impressive. I know both the soldiers and the leaders of this battalion have learned from your infantry background, have seen that in spades across multiple training events. But I also know that you have learned from them, and that both of you are better off for having you in this position and leading in the manner in which you have over the last months. But I think most impressive to me was the genuine care and compassion and the willingness for you and Safusi to step in and help out on Christmas Day, handing out those trays of treats to the soldiers, whether it was on the gate or on duty across the installation, and just how you stepped up and helped out to be able to provide a little touch of home to those soldiers that were working on Christmas Day. So thankfully for us, grateful that you're not going too far. You're staying here within the brigade, kind of the other end of Northport. So glad that you're still going to be serving here within the brigade. That's great for us as a brigade. So Command Sergeant Major Jackson, congratulations. Definitely glad to have you on board as Mustang 7 and look forward to working with you in the future. So now transitioning to the commanders. So Brent, you have truly done an amazing job as Mustang 6 over the last couple years. But not just with the BSB, but also with how you supported the brigade and how you helped to influence things across the division, across the installation, and across the Army. From my perspective, this was clearly not a job for you. It was a passion. So more than just a mission, it was truly a passion for you. And that was evident in how you lived and how you executed sustainment operations on a daily basis to better both the battalion and to better the brigade. You were given one of the most complex mission sets within the brigade, and not only did you accomplish that, but every single thing that you and every single thing that the Mustang team has set your hands to, you have excelled. So I just want to recount a few of those, and then I'll kind of finish with something that I think you might be smiling about there, but I'll get to that in a second. So let me focus on the mission stuff first. So first and foremost was the Mustang team's performance at the National Training Center Rotation 2109. Not one time did we as a brigade have to wait on support for our operations. And all too often, that support was already in place before we even knew that it needed to be there because of the work that you and the team had done to ensure that that got pushed as far forward as needed, so that we could catch things in stride and just keep that attack going, from the west to the east during that rotation. But not only was the support amazing, when you take a look at the interactions with Black Horse, it wasn't just a simple small team attack. It wasn't a squad attack. Every single time they had to go after you, it was a larger and larger force package, because every single time you smacked them down, you defeated them, and they had to come back for more just to test you out to be able to accomplish your training objectives. But I think most impressive for me was the manner in which you personally accepted that sustainment challenge as we came out of the first after-action review, and then throughout the rest of the rotation set that example for the Army of how to sustain a Stryker brigade. But not only could you perform on the biggest stage there at the National Training Center, your leadership and attention to detail brought about inspection results like the SSA 100% commendable ratings, multiple Bistro awards, just to highlight a couple of the inspections. But your training and leadership development focus truly resulted in improving our maneuver understanding of sustainment through the brigade sustainment LPDs, specifically as we look at maintenance and recovery, and more recently as we talked through and you executed that medical training, not just for Charlie Med, but for the entirety of the brigade, and increasing that the medical knowledge and understanding of that realistic training that you executed over at Yakima Training Center. So well done. So now I do feel like I'd be derelict in my duties if I did not share one incident with the team. So there we were in Training Area 2. A few of us know the story. A few others have heard the story. Executing a mountain bike PT mission on a typical cold, wet, and slick and muddy morning. And as we were going on the trails, we approached a rather sizable puddle in the road. And truth in lending, I was like, nope, I am not going to try and go through that. I'm not going to try and go around it. I got off my bike and I started to walk my bike around that puddle. And from just over my left shoulder, I heard Brent say, nah, I got this. And he was going. And then all of a sudden, I hear splash, boom. And I turn around and look, and Brent was gone. The bike was gone. I saw like a third of that front wheel. And that was it. It was like, where'd he go? Where'd the bike go? What's going on? And then about that quick, Colonel Irish stood up and was standing in water. It was about waist high, soaked, freezing, grabbed his bike, got it out of that puddle, hopped back on the bike, and continued mission with us on the rest of that bike ride, and made it back to the headquarters, albeit very cold and very wet. I just like to say that I saw that as a story of perseverance and as a story of determination. And you finished that ride with us this morning. But speaking of perseverance, determination, in service, Emily, thank you for everything that you have done for the battalion, for the soldiers, for the leaders, but also for the brigade, and supporting the families across the installation. But I think most importantly, thank you for your support of Brent over the last 4 or 5 months. You've done an amazing job supporting him and letting him do what he's passionate about and loves. So thank you very much. And Jennifer and I wish you and Brent the very best as you make this next transition towards retirement back home to Montana. As mentioned up front, we're transitioning from one superior officer to another. So Kristen, welcome to the Lancer Brigade, and specifically here to the Mustang Battalion. I know you've seen over the last couple weeks that life as a BSB commander is much different than coming from the office of the Chief of Public Affairs. So you don't have to worry about responding to mean tweets and other things, or developing engagement strategies and engagement plans. So much different position, and one that you are very well suited for, and I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to seeing what you accomplish in the next coming years, especially as we work the preparation for and then execution of our upcoming Indo-PACOM mission set. Again, congratulations. So trust in me, seize the high ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Brent Irish.
Major General Smith, Mrs. Smith, Command Sergeant Major Lawless, Mrs. Lawless, Colonel Rorman, Command Sergeant Major Samazik, Colonel Atkins, and Colonel Wazinski, fellow battalion commanders and command sergeants major, families, friends of the Mustang Battalion, thank you again for attending and certainly trusting me with these great soldiers, which is a great honor. I would like to thank my mother for making the trip out here, and who also calls me every time there's an international incident to see if I'm deploying. Thank you for flying out here. It was great to pick you up last night at midnight. It was the fastest drive to and from SeaTac I've made since we've been here. To my in-laws, Steve and Barbara Cooper, thank you for the ongoing support throughout the years. And then, of course, Emily, Olivia, Vance, Simon, and Noah, I think that you've all been the heavy bill payers over the years, and certainly the last 2 years. There's no doubt that you've probably made the greatest sacrifice of all. Thank you again. This change of command is a vast contrast to April 2020, where my change of command ceremony was 10 people in a room. We weren't allowed to pass colors. There were no friends, there were no families. There was 3 speeches. It was over in less than 15 minutes. And I then went to an empty office building and began my command with my XO showing up later that week as we started to try to get back into a normal rhythm with the COVID outbreak. So it's great to have everybody here, and it's great to see all the friends and families here. It is truly hard not to be nostalgic about the Army. The friendships that we develop during the hard times and the shared suffering, those are unbreakable bonds. For me, Battalion Command is really the culmination of about 17 years of hard work that were required to be considered and selected. More importantly, though, it represents thousands of soldiers and leaders that I have worked with over the years that have contributed to that success, because I think it would be disingenuous to say that I did it all by myself. So before you, these soldiers represent about 40% of the 1,000 sustainment soldiers who support 2nd Stryker Brigade Combat Team. And these 4 companies provide the base of support required for those 7 battalions and HHC Brigade to fight and win. And it is truly humbling to lead this team as they push as hard as they do in the heat of the Mojave Desert or the cold at YTC without showers or shelter from the winds. There's blowing sand, blowing snow, and blowing rain, and sometimes at YTC you get all of those at the exact same time. They never let off the gas, even on a 3rd jump at NTC, when they set up the 3rd iteration of triple strand concertina wire. They did it with faster and faster speeds as we went along, which was the exact opposite of what I expected. They fought a determined and free-thinking opposition force and did not once let them interrupt our ability to provide the material or medical support needed for those 7 battalions, to include ourselves. I'm proud of this team and everything you've accomplished. The Army can be like a Pacific Northwest forest, where all you see is a massive expanse of green. It's easy to lose sight of the trees and only see the forest, unless you go into it. And standing before us all, we see a large formation, but I see individuals, each with unique personalities, families, and life goals. Many are searching for something. They've all joined in search of something, whether it's money, whether it's getting out of town, whether it's going off to do exciting adventures. But they all joined and chose to serve and be part of something bigger than themselves. I hope you understand that you're all important. that each of you possess a unique skill that the Army and life has taught you. And each one of you is critical to the success of this brigade. As my time in this battalion has drawn to a close, I know that the future of the Army and this brigade and the nation are in good hands. Trust in me, seize the high ground, sustain the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the incoming commander of 2nd Brigade Support Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Kristen Plasmeyer.
Good morning, everyone. Mustangs, you look great. I promise it's only 2.5 more minutes. Lieutenant General Brunson, Major General Smith, Command Sergeant Major Lawless, Colonel Rohrman, Command Sergeant Major Seismic, distinguished guests, friends and family of the Mustang Battalion, thank you for being here today. Major General Smith, Colonel Rohrman, I know I'm the right person at the right time for this battalion. Thank you so much for your trust and confidence in me and this opportunity to command. Brent, you and Emily have somehow moved the ball forward during this extremely difficult time in our nation's history. Commanding during a pandemic is no small feat. I commend both of you for everything that you have done, and I wish you and your family the best in your future endeavors. If I could name one constant in my life, it's my family. I am beyond blessed to have an amazing family. Mom, Dad, Rick, Grandma, Mike, Alicia, Mara, Jamie, my nephews, and the whole Plasmeyer crew. No matter where the Army has taken me, across the country or across the world, you've always been there for me through all my undertakings, my accomplishments, and my hurdles. I truly would not be here today without your support, your love, and confidence in me. Thank you so much for believing in me. I'm going to continue with the family theme here. I learned very early in my career and through unexpected tragedy that the Army, too, is my family. Mustangs, we are now family. And just like any new family, we will experience growing pains. And it will be hard. As we embark on our journey together, you must never forget that our top priority in the Mustang family is to be ready to deploy, fight, and win the nation's wars. This is no easy task, but rest assured, you have my word that Command Sergeant Major Jackson and I will lead you to the best of our abilities. Together, we will tackle new endeavors, overcome our challenges, master our foundational skills, and build a cohesive team. Because we have the opportunity to forge new paths for future Stryker brigades, leaving a legacy for those that follow in our footsteps. Mustang 6 signing on the net. Trust in me, seize the high ground, sustain the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and join us in singing the 7th Infantry Division March and the Army Song. The lyrics can be found in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for attending. Please take a moment and say farewell to Lieutenant Colonel Irish and Sergeant Major Moana and their families in the front. Guests are invited to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Plasmeyer and Command Sergeant Major Jackson and their families at the BSB headquarters on North Fort next to the Brigade headquarters. Trust in me, seize the high ground, sustain the fight.